Our federal government is going 500 billion, $500 billion in debt every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, $500 billion in debt. That's the latest. My friends, how do you sustain that? The amount of our debt that is interest payments is going up very high. We're going to soon reach the point of how do you even pay the interest on the federal debt with the debt growing the way it is. It's getting insane. Of course, there are those that say, well, we'll take all the money from the rich and that'll solve all the problems. Or the corporations. Well, the corporations are being taxed twice because corporations are owned by who? You, shareholders. A lot of you are shareholders through various retirement plans and so forth. So they tax the company and then they tax you again. It's like double income tax. And that does hurt the competitiveness of the company somewhat. So is it really fair to tax twice? Is it even fair to tax income? You got to recognize our government used to survive off tariffs. Yeah, tariffs. The federal government was entirely funded just from tariffs alone. What's the job of the federal government? Defense. Mainly defense of the borders. And maybe ensuring fair trade, some level of courts, arbitration. But regulation of maybe trade between states, but really and truly, maybe some treaties. But is our federal government out of control or not? What do you think? $500 billion every 3 weeks? The spending is out of control. My friends, our federal government is way too big. Oh, there's all these people happy. Oh, the jobs, we got more jobs. Well, those are government jobs. The government hired a bunch of people, and government jobs are inefficient. Oh yeah, so sometimes, the government distributes money, takes money from one, robs Peter to pay Paul. But in doing so, George up at the government, he takes a big part of that money, and so does, several other people in the government. They're very inefficient. The government is extremely inefficient at taking your money and redistributing it to other folks. Look what happened with, the recent hurricanes that Helene and so forth. Yeah, FEMA showed up, but you know what? It wasn't nearly as efficient as it should have been by a long shot. That's why so many people are unhappy. Who did the bulk of the work? The locals, the churches. Yeah, so I think, if we go back to our communities and get more community-oriented like we used to be, people would probably be better taken care of than they are today and more appreciative of what they got. So my friends, whether you want the government to keep paying out all this kind of money or not, it ain't going to continue. It can't. At some point, the wheels are going to fall off the train. I would submit there's not much the federal government really does that we really need. Let's look at the DOD, for example. Do we really need a massive Department of Defense with trillion-dollar weapon systems? With multi-billion-dollar weapon systems. Do we really need that? Greg, defense. We use most of that for power projection. Let me ask you this. If you took every American, gave them just a little bit of training, and you put a full automatic, I'm not talking the AR, I'm talking M4, the sweet age of when you get your driver's license in Alabama and some places. You gotta be careful what I say on here. Guys, if you gave every American a full auto NUG, or at least everyone's not got a felony or some huge issue, and who would invade America? Even today, with just what Americans already have, who could invade this nation? Greg, they got, what did the president say? Biden. He says, well, you can't take on the federal government if you don't have an F-15. Well, excuse me. Anybody else coming in this country with such a weapon system coming on you or tanks and so forth, all that stuff would have to be massively supported by long logistics trains coming into this country from overseas, and then as they invade into the country. Now, if you got a bunch of people just, behind every blade of glass, like it's alleged that Yamamoto, said that behind every blade of grass there was a man with a rifle. Well, and that's why you couldn't invade America. Well, supposing he actually didn't say that, or there's no proof he said that. But irrespectively, it's essentially true. So who's going to invade this country? How could they invade this country in reality? They might get, they might get part of the left coast. They might get inland a little ways, but they ain't going to make it far in this country, even if you don't take the Swiss model and arm every citizen. But if you did, holy smoke. Wouldn't that be far more effective than what we're doing today? Why have we got to be minding the world's business and paying zillions, trillions of dollars a year to mind the business of the world? Why can't we just be self-sufficient here? You got to realize, we could be self-sufficient here. We got enough resources. We can do the manufacturing. We've got the know-how. Why don't we concentrate on self-sufficiency and get our nose out of everybody else's business and save a ton of money doing so? Why not? What is so wrong with that idea? Why we got to be minding everyone's business world? Why we got to be the policeman of the world? The rest of the world is quite capable of taking care of their own business, but they don't do it because they know they can rely on Uncle Sugar, our U.S. government. Why? Why should we keep paying for that? Why do it? Why do it? So that's my question to you today. Why do it? I'm just asking questions here. Why do it? Why not just take care of our own business here at home and let the world blow by? I mean, if the whole rest of the world went to heck in the handbasket, absolute heck in the handbasket, what could they do to us? Not really so much. Not more than what they could already do. Yeah, hacking and blah, 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 blah. They can do that right now. And we could be more resilient against that if we would do it. We just need to focus on ourselves, our country, get our stuff right, and let the rest of the world blow by. Maybe people would see what we're doing as an example instead of being a busybody. So why don't we turn the world off by being a busybody, by minding everybody else's business? That's how we turn the world off. That's how we turn so many countries against us. That's why they set up BRICS. So I'll just tell them, you take care of your business, we'll take care of ours, and leave us the heck alone. How about that? Just like a lot of us living out here in prepping world. We just want to be left alone, but busybodies want to mind our business too. Leave me the heck alone. How about that? That should be our national motto. Leave me the heck alone. What do you think about it? That's my 2 cents for today. I'm taking my little walk in the woods. There won't be too many walks in these woods, but I do have some big juniper trees out of my other place. Just got back from there for a short trip. Yeah, there won't be too much more me out here. This is kind of a done proposition. I got a couple old videos I've done. I might still edit and put together and let you guys see them. But if I get time to edit some stuff, I do have some other material. But my friends, I think, we ought to be done with minding everybody else's business. It's a very expensive proposition. It costs us dearly to do that. So why don't we do it? Why bother minding the business of the world, huh? You tell me. Anyway, leave me comments below. I'll see what y'all think about that. So I just wish everyone subscribe to my channel, bang the notification bell, and click all. Oh yeah, the links to prepwithgreg.com still works. So you can get long-term food storage there if you so desire. Thank y'all for watching. Greg out.